Last time on The Great Ace Attorney 2. Gonna have to like bob and weave.
Pete's pulling a Mr. Bean where it's like he's got the television, but then he has to be in an adjacent chair.
Well, Pete doesn't need to strip and put all of his clothes on the chair.
That's an image that people don't need.
Maybe editing Pete could put in a clip of what we mean.
The yes, Mr. Bean reference.
Yes, not you!
Yes, thank you. No. I was gonna say thank God.
It's getting on for a year now. Since what happened on the SS Berja, I thought I'd lost my best friend forever.
I must have been unconscious for a long time. When I awoke, I was laying on a bed. I slipped out of the room and headed up onto the deck. I didn't know what had happened or where I was. It was just this voice in my head.
Wait a minute.
Go to Great Britain. Your task awaits you there.
Now, I had two options. I could either consider this an auditory hallucination and accept the fact that I was slowly going crazy, or I could assume it was some kind of divine destiny. Did you know the entire time about what happened to your father here?
6 years after he left, a gentleman called at our family home. He told me that Genshin, my father, had been taken ill in England and passed away. It was Professor Makotoba. Nevertheless, I just couldn't bring myself to believe what he told me. Then one day, a letter arrived at our house from Britain. What I read in that letter changed my entire life.
What did it say?
Hot, horny babes.
Waiting in your area. Yeah. It's clear that the inspector was behind the Reaper's activity all along. The real question is, who's been giving orders to the inspector?
Gee, I so wonder. It must have been someone with a strong heart to give such ruthless orders.
Baroque Van Zieks is the real Reaper, and I know that 10 years ago it was him who decided my father must be a mass murderer and sent him to his grave.
No, he was merely seeing that justice was done as the law dictates. He's not to blame.
Ultimately, it's people who condemn people. The law is just a tool that they use to do it. I know for certain my father would never have taken another man's life.
The prosecutor was here until a few moments ago, too.
Really?
Hang on a sec.
We obviously be two places at once.
We got a slow omnibus, guys. He got the direct line straight across, and we had to go all around London. When he was brought back to his cell, I saw something unusual.
It was a big tunnel in his cell.
Behind a poster, the last will and testament of Genshin Impact. Of Genshin Isogi. As soon as he noticed me, he hurriedly shoved it behind his back, and then he pleaded with me.
Please, turn a blind eye. This will is the only weapon I have left now.
Good day, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Disillusion Plays, where we play the games and do the voices.
My dear fellow.
What?
Oh dear, I think we might have gotten a bit lost.
Sorry, I thought last time you thought your ears were burning.
It's very true. Anyway, in this instance, I am Sholmes.
I'm Iris in this instance.
And I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo in this instance.
I don't know why I've done this, because I've made myself more work.
Furious.
Here we go. Yep, here we go.
It's like, again, it's Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man. It's like, who could have done that? I can't believe you've done this, says Pete, pointing in the mirror towards himself.
I mean, I haven't done it I haven't had to change the intro for a while, so, I figure a one-off is okay. One time.
Indeed.
Once, Taylor. Once. I'm Pete.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Taylor.
Nice.
Yeah, you're right there.
Well, I was sipping my tea for dramatic effect. I wasn't expecting Pete to do an additional introduction on top of the introduction.
Anyway.
Double intro. Oh my God.
Double intro.
That's an
That
old meme,
Yeah.
That
sir.
is a very old
But
meme.
it checks out.
Yep.
If you like what we do, don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell. And if you actually genuinely want to help us out on the algorithm, this is probably a bit weird because presumably you'll be all caught up by now. But if you aren't caught up, why don't you watch another one of our videos?
Yeah. We've got a few now.
We have got quite a few.
Got a few now.
You could try a series that you weren't considering.
Or if you want something that's a little bit of a different sort of tempo or theme, we did do a little monster prom.
We did.
That was a lot of fun. Or you can watch our 5-hour escapade that is Who Murdered Sonic.
And hear our voices progressively die in real time.
Yes. Yeah. Because that wasn't filmed over several weeks. That was one sitting.
Oh.
We regretted it. We had a lot of fun, but
Yes.
there was regret for the time frame. Anyway,
We made
And that
the
was
hill,
how we
died
in-
on it. Oh, sorry.
That
Taylor.
was how we invented the Disillusion Plays scale of playtime, which is to say, we go on how long to beat, and then we double whatever the time is listed.
yeah.
It's usually pretty accurate.
Yeah, it's been working out pretty well so far. But that doesn't quite make sense, though, does it?
I believe that's my line.
I know. I just thought it was quite amusing, like, that it's...
Yeah.
That doesn't quite make sense, though, does it?
Well, I do wish I'd remembered what on earth you were talking about. In what way?
Me too. Well, we'd understood that only Mr. Fischl is aware of the will's existence.
Oh, yes. Genshin's will, yes.
In which case, how did the prison governor know to look for it?
Oh, yes, you're right.
I think we need to go pay our absolute unit a visit.
Yeah, probably. I really don't know how he knew. But it certainly seemed as though he knew of the will's existence from the outset. Only, he didn't refer to it as a will. What he said was... the Asogi Papers. That face.
I know.
The Asogi Papers.
I really can't tell you anything of the subsequent events. Because, well, of what happened.
Your dismissal, and the way you blocked it all from your memory.
I'd forgotten all this until today. I don't suppose it's relevant to the case, though.
Oh yeah, definitely not relevant to the
Yeah,
game.
the last time someone said it wasn't relevant, turns out, actually,
Editor's note.
surprise, mother effer.
Is that a slight, my darling?
Yes, indeed.
Sarah, you keep
Right,
thinking
Tara.
of it as a slight.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say, like, it wasn't a slight so much as it is definitely referring to you. But no, not a
Yes,
slight.
as subtle a hint as a brick through a window.
As a brick through a top-hinged casement window.
Indeed.
Or as a knife through a top-hinged casement
Oh my
window.
god.
Oh, blimey.
Blasphemy. I mean, the thing is,
Poor
though, is
Miss
you
Scarab.
do seem to be right consistently. It's weird. It's uncanny.
Yes, and I got accused of blitzing through ahead of the game without
You
anyone's
did?
knowledge. Yeah, one of it. Pete accused me of like, have you played this before? Like, no!
I was just joking.
I know.
J'accuse.
She wants to play it all because she's been pestering me all week, just going like, "Oh, I want to know what happens. I want to know what
I'm
happens."
just excited. I wouldn't go ahead and play it though, because that defeats the object.
Yeah.
I want to find out.
Because
a bit quicker.
and we're all gonna find out together.
Yes.
Well, anyway, thank you very much for sharing it with us, Mr. Vigil. We're very grateful.
I'm afraid there's really little more I can tell you. My wife Evie will be here shortly, so I'm probably going to have to try and put on my best voice. So I do hope I don't appear rude, but...
Sod off.
No, not at all. Thank you again.
Right, thanks.
What will become of you now?
I was thinking that I might turn myself into a meat popsicle.
Oh, no, ew.
Let's not think about the logistics of that. Well,
Can we not?
impersonating a police officer is a criminal offence, of course. I imagine that once I'm fully recovered, I shall be arrested.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be, please. This is all my own doing.
I mean, that is true. I'm not quite sure why I'm apologizing when you were the one who disguised yourself as Gregson and had a whole conspiracy behind our backs, but yes, I'm sorry.
That's a nice backhanded compliment there, thanks. I always knew that this day would come. It's not a compliment, was it? Backhanded, though.
Well, I wish you well. Goodbye, Mr. Vigil.
Before you go, there's just one thing.
Were all those poses really necessary? Yes? What is it?
Oh.
I have been possessed.
Oh.
The Asogi Papers. Spooky music. I'd be very grateful if you I'll be very grateful if you make no mention of the things I told you about him.
Oh, believe me!
sorry.
Once we get to Governor Kadin's office, I'm going to ask him all about
I'm
it.
sorry. I was talking, mate. Did you have to cough over me like that? Can I finish my sentence before you just over all of me?
Would you die a bit more quietly, please?
Yeah, please. I'd appreciate that. I'm still recovering. It's actually making me feel quite anxious about my own recovery hearing you die like that. So could you please just keep it down? Thanks. I'll be very grateful if you, one, kept it down, but also make no mention of the things I told you about.
Presumably for some good reason.
It's my understanding that their very existence is a closely guarded secret. I probably shouldn't know about them. If it became known that I'd remembered, well,
They're going to lobotomize me.
it could be rather troublesome, I think.
Do you think that's what the music box was?
Huh.
What, the Asogi papers?
Like, there's the content that was on the Asogi. Interesting.
Which then is the hit list. Huh.
Maybe.
I don't know.
For the people who needed to be assassinated.
But it is still weird that Kazuma's name is on there.
Wait, no, so hang on. So he's saying that... that is interesting. So he's saying that the... So wait. This is circling back to what I said last time.
No, it is. And I know I said in the other one, it's like, why is Kazuma on it? But
then it's weird, isn't it? Because...
unless it's not a...
Yeah, unless it
It's
isn't
not
a
hit
list.
list, and it's like, because it's only partially translated,
Well,
we're missing
actually,
a lot of context.
there is another thing. Maybe it still could be a hit list, but maybe it's a list that he didn't make. It's a list that that someone else has made, and he knows of it and wanted to pass on to... I don't know.
I don't know.
It's all becoming conspiracy.
Understand.
Some sort of will that Genshin Asogi penned just before his death, which the man himself claimed was his last weapon. I wonder, perhaps it had something to do with his plan to escape. If there's anyone who might know more about a document than that Kazuma's father left behind...
Yeah.
It would be Mr. Vigil's governor.
And they're both just like enthusiastic. They're both like the fists.
Yeah.
I imagine that Mr. Vigil's like, did you not hear what I just said?
Yeah.
And we know precisely where we must go. Back to Berkeley Prison.
Goody,
can I come?
You do realise that I can hear you, right? You know, I am still here.
Oh, God. They could just go to disregard everything I've said, aren't they?
Should we give him a poke? Let's give him a poke real quick before we go.
Well, at least he seems to be on the mend.
I mean, really, with his back arch like
I mean,
that, I don't know for how long.
He doesn't look very happy.
He's gonna have back trouble soon.
Yeah, that's a bad posture.
You know,
Although, the poses reminded me of the Thinker.
Yes, a little bit, actually, yeah. Yeah.
So maybe it is statues.
Yeah.
his disguise as Mr. Gossip was really quite masterful, wasn't it?
Oh,
I
thank you.
can't remember anything about it except for the floppy lip.
I mean, it did stand out. I imagine not even his wife would have recognized him.
Perhaps. But did he really have to take it quite so far?
I guess so.
Alrighty, so we're off to Barry Kadin's place.
Yep.
A new location.
The absolute unit himself.
Are we sure?
That's the prosecutor's office.
I know. It said, "Are you sure we've asked everything we need to?"
Kazuma, there was no more dialogue options for Kazuma. Maybe we have to go to the prison and go back. I don't know.
Oh, Chief Justice. Oh, Prison Governor's office. There we go. Do you know? I don't believe we've visited this place for some time. Oh yes.
Oh, yes.
The grandfather clock.
The repressed bird in the cage.
Yeah, someone said that we should have investigated the bird, so we'll try and make sure to do that this time. Oh, there he is.
Not right now, we're not.
Back again, are you? Ugh.
Yes. Hello.
I've heard all about your investigations. I read the report just now. You found him, eh, Vigil?
Yes, luckily.
Well, anyhow, the laddie doesn't work here no more. So your case is naught to do with Barclay. I wouldn't like you to get the wrong idea about that.
Oh dear.
Of course, yes. Mr. Vigil stopped working here 10 years ago now, so...
Yes, we've seen his dismissal notice, haven't we? He was given the chop.
Oh dear.
Aye, Kimmer. You ken very well. So, how about a wee handcuff biscuit?
So tiny.
Oh, they really are like little handcuffs. And as hard as irons, too.
Well, I've got very good dental over here at the prison, so my teeth are like tombstones.
Now that's how you know that that this is fantasy, because no one would describe dental care as being good.
For God's sake.
Well,
So, what's brought you down here today?
Well, there's something else we'd like to ask you about, actually.
Is that so?
The crunch.
Sorry, is that so?
We believe there might have been a document that disappeared from Genshin Asogi's cell.
I'm surprised at you, Taylor. I was expecting
I
the
think
other
it's been.
the impact papers.
No. Just again, that Mr. Vigil was like, please don't say anything, because if it's been discovered that I know, it would be quite troublesome. Ryunosuke, I am going to completely forget about what you just said, because it's inconvenient, and I want to know.
Well, we could just say that it's like, how do you know about those papers? Oh, I don't know. A little birdie told me. Perhaps it was the birdie stuffed in the cage. I don't know.
I think it's been called the Asogi Papers or something.
oh dear.
Oh no, where'd the teacup go?
I say it now. You've made me spill my tea all over the floor.
You just slowly locks the door.
Yeah. You made me spill my tea.
I may have to use my guillotine.
And I don't like to spill my tea.
Did I not say? Gregson's death is not to do with things that might have happened at Barclay.
Oh, and you're so sure about that then?
Leave the past in the past, laddie. Let's not footer about... Okay. Let's not footer about with irrelevant details.
Footer a boot.
Shh.
Let's not footer a boot. I don't know what... I mean, I know what a boot is, but I don't know... Do they know what footer is?
I guess it's like, let's not beat around the bush, I guess. Or,
Yeah, I would-
let's not faff about.
I
What
would
the hell
assume
is
so.
a footer? It sounds dirty.
His expressions changed completely, but not really, because it just kind of seems the same. We're clearly onto something here.
Okay, Iris, you're up. Off you go.
Gun.
Now, excuse me, Burb. What is happening with the analog stick? Actually,
Uh-oh.
thank you. Excuse me.
I'd never have expected to find a parrot in a prison. It must be the governor's pet.
Given where we are, it's hard not to see the poor creature as a prisoner.
What?
Did he kill me?
Sorry, Taylor.
That-
You do.
That parrot's
No,
like
no,
a-
you go. You be the parrot.
That parrot's also a killer ventriloquist, apparently. It threw its voice all the way to America.
No, it's all right. You do. You go, Taylor. You go.
No, Sarah, you do it. You did the original parrot anyway.
Oh God, Polly. Jeez, yes, I did.
Let me eat! Did he kill me?
Okay, it spoke.
Has the bird learned to mimic the plaintive cries of the inmates in the cells?
Oh, no. He was one of 3 siblings, you see. And he still calls out the names of his 2 brothers like that all the time.
Ah, right.
Let me eat! Did he kill me?
Aye. I hear you, laddie. But there's no chance you're getting out of there. You want your dinner, eh? Didn't they do it? Didn't they do it? You want your dinner, eh? Didn't they do it?
Oh my God.
All right. Well, whichever commenter suggested we investigate the bird, you get a pat on the head.
You're welcome.
What can we say except you're welcome?
Christ.
Now, should we investigate everything else again? I can't remember. Let's just see if, I guess, because I don't think Kadin was in the office.
This grandfather clock is...
It's fitted with a terrifying blade that keeps dropping down.
It's modelled on the guillotine, a French execution device. You might have heard of it. And, yes, before you ask, it can chop.
Oh, Jesus.
Heads off, you mean?
No, the ends of cigars.
Oh, do you know?
Evers no! Carrots and parsnips and so forth. You'd have to have a very tiny head to fit in that hole. Jeez. You'd be like a small child or something. Sarah, don't you be so dirty. Don't you? I heard you snickering. I know what you're doing. I know you. I know your
Never
mindset.
said a word.
I know your
You
mindset.
can't prove it.
I can prove it.
You can't.
I can.
Is that Sarah's parrot name? Didn't they do it? And can I prove it?
Can he prove it?
Can I prove it?
If you place a large carrot. There you go. See? Prove my point.
You have no proof.
Dirty mind. Dirty mind.
Can
did
I
tell you?
prove it?
Can they prove it?
Can I prove it?
If you place a large carrot at the bottom there in the morning, by evening, it'll have been cut clean in two.
But not an aubergine. 'cause
It
it's
took
too thick.
takes a long time.
Well, the blade must have an almost indescribable edge on it then.
Yeah, indescribable in that it's blunt. If it takes all day. Okay, I think that's enough. Let us converse with the man. That murderer's botched execution and the whole miserable escape. They were Berkeley's darkest hour, aye. A shocking embarrassment.
Quite frankly, this is why I think the guillotine was a better method of execution. There's no room for error. Either the head's still on or it's nah.
Well, and even if your blade isn't sharp, if you keep chopping away, eventually you'll get through there.
Oh, Christ.
No chance of faking that, no.
No. Just got to make sure the blade's heavy enough. You could do it with a breeze block if you wanted.
Oh, Christ.
You're right there, Sarah.
The images.
Just stop picturing it.
I can't.
Just
The only problem is if somebody forgets the maintenance, and then it's a right show, because then it takes about 10 chops, and then there's a lot of screaming.
Yeah, that was
And
the-
then there's cries about crimes against humanity and all this and so forth. But, you
all
know.
that mumbo jumbo.
Because the convict had a collaborator on the prison staff, you mean? Staff? Staff?
Either.
Yeah, I think either. Yeah. Aye, for shame. The coroner who confirmed the death of the man after his execution.
Aha!
Oh, yes, it was her.
Courtney Scythe.
Yes.
And my chief warder at the time, Vigil, who was in charge of the whole affair.
I forgot it was her.
And whomstead do we know that has had Courtney Scythe fake things before?
The elephant man. The gingerbread man.
Yes. Yes.
Well
done.
The muffin man.
Jesus.
Actually, did we ever get any proof that she faked it for male Stronghart, or is that just that's just the heavy implication?
It's the implication. I don't think she actually said. I think she was,
Right,
yeah,
right.
she was trying to say that, like, no, because Odie Asman was blackmailing her.
Yeah, there was the whole thing with this. There was the whole thing.
Oh,
with the
that's right. No,
scalpels, wasn't
Odie
there?
was blackmailing her because Enoch was blackmailing her because he knew the truth about something. Because presumably he knew the truth about the execution, so he blackmailed her to fake the evidence in the later one.
Yeah, but, like, I don't think she actually revealed why she did it. I don't think.
But Mr. Vigil says he didn't know anything about it.
Oh, the rascal wouldn't he say otherwise, eh? More handcuffs.
Oh, well, how could I say no? You can never have too much iron in your diet.
Good one.
That wasn't a joke.
Medically
I was
untrue.
serious. When Mr. Vigil was handed his dismissal notice as a result of what had happened, he was so despairing, he jumped out of your office window, didn't he?
Oh, I probably should have put bars on that thing afterwards, but, budget cuts.
I didn't like to say, but That's just Vigil trying to get out of it. Do you not think he would have jumped from the shock of his crimes being exposed, eh? I do.
You wouldn't say otherwise, though, would you?
Are you mocking me there under your breath?
Mr. Naruto, I don't think that's very wise. Look at the size of him.
Of course, I can't shun all responsibility myself. Myself? Whatever. I shouldn't have let him deceive me. Actually, there's barely anybody that kens what went on at the time now. That kens really throws me for a loop when I see that. With Gregson being murdered and Dr. Scythe forbidden from having any visitors.
No visitors? Someone obviously doesn't want her giving anything away. Did you say something, Mrs. Atto?
Oh, no, nothing.
Well, we're not going home empty-handed.
Anne, I wouldn't dream of sending you packing when out came out. Here, take a handcuff or two.
Oh! Well, it would be rude to say no. I wouldn't want to become anemic.
Good one. I suppose, if there's anybody who might still ken about what happened back then.
Is it Stronghart?
Gonna be that last from the forensic division. Maria Gorey. Maria Gorey.
Maria Gorey.
I know, like Maria. I was just like, weird.
So
Maria
that'll
Gorey.
be her daughter then.
Maybe.
Maria Gorey?
Aye.
Yeah.
Taylor called it. Scythe's daughter. She didn't have no more. She didn't have no more. Just the one.
Well, the thing is, they went to the trouble of modeling the character and making her unique, so obviously
Yeah,
she was
she's
going to
gonna-
have to feature in some way.
Absolutely. I was expecting her to come up in like case 5 or something. Can you believe we're still on case 4? It's like, Jesus, shut it!
Don't tell everybody.
But the wee bairns followed in a man's foot.
Oh,
Sorry.
you're right.
I just need to take a sip of water.
Take a sip of water.
You know, sometimes you'll do like a voice or something, and then your throat just kind of, it feels like someone's just jabbed a pointy stick in your
yeah.
throat.
It
Just
just
like,
feels like
ow!
or it like feels like it's closed up. It's like
Sorry about that, viewers. But the wee bairns followed in her mum's footsteps. You didn't ever see her without a scalpel in her hand.
Christ, do you think instead of like a baby rattle, she had a scalpel in her hand.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Oof.
Ah!
Aye.
Ah, yes. Oh, God.
Mama.
Now Sarah has to try to remember what voice she... I don't even remember what voice you used.
It was a bit creepy. I'd
was
not really
kind of-
got really much of one because it was like she was like so brief. I was like,
It was kind of creepy.
It
was a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
Mama, what is this?
Ah! Where did she spring from? And did she just call the doctor Mama?
Oh, there we go.
How was that?
Dr. Scythe's daughter, Maria Gorey. We could do with talking to her.
Sarah's like, oh no.
No, we don't need to.
Gorey.
Gory.
So, she's Dr. Scythe's daughter, but her surname is Gorey?
Aye, Scythe married. Changed her name. Aye, there's some family history, I'm sure, but I didn't ken in the ins and outs. I didn't ken the freaking ken. But I didn't ken the ins and outs of it.
I guess it means no.
Yeah, it's just weird. She grew up watching her mum working with the bodies of the folk who died in strange circumstances.
Ah, yes, bring your children to work day.
And every day. And decided to do the same with her own life. I can't understand it myself.
Courtney just kind of picks up a spleen and hands it to her. He's like, here, play with this. Mommy's busy working.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, it's squidgy.
Oh.
Squish, squish.
Perhaps she was driven by a deep respect for her mother.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Anyhow, she was in charge of Gregson's autopsy, I believe.
Right, and the coroner responsible for this incomplete report.
Gee, it's constantly manscaping. He is what you describe. What the it's just the modern description is metrosexual, I believe.
Is it? Okay.
What did you just call me?
Where you're like obsessed with your looks and whatnot.
Oh.
This is where it's
you out
probably
of my
complete.
office.
Vain.
You'll be joining Mr. Vigil's body print on the ground if you keep talking about me like that.
Oof.
Someone once told me the wee lassie always loved her mam's stories about cutting up bodies. There's even a rumour that she used to listen to the funeral march as a lullaby.
Oh, she sounds delightful. Well, then perhaps her mother might have told her about the autopsy from the case 10 years ago.
Aye. I'd say there's a fighting chance at least. After all, that was a life-changing case for all of us.
We really need to speak to Miss Gorey herself about all this, I think. Well, thank you very much.
Bye! I'm no happy about any part of this. It took years for Londoners to finally forget the whole professor business. Can you not give up on this, laddie? Stop asking pointless questions. Can you no... Oh, okay. Can you no give up on this, laddie? Stop asking pointless questions.
I'm sorry. I don't like dredging up these painful memories for everyone.
Can you no just stay away, no? Leave me alone and then you come back here, eh?
But before I go,
Before I go.
How'd you come to ken about that, laddie? There's no many folk even here in the prison who've heard of those papers.
oh, Mr. Vigil told me. What?
Well,
I can't tell him Mr. Vigil told me.
I'm afraid our sources must remain confidential, sir.
Very professional, Susato. Well done.
Thank you.
We've been led to believe the papers are actually a last will and testament. Is that right? The professor's, or rather, Genshin Asogi's. The professor's, or rather, Genshin Asogi's.
Aye. That's right. You're well informed, Jimmy.
It's actually Ryunosuke, but...
Yep.
Oh, is that the end of the silent treatment? But then, after the convict's execution, it mysteriously vanished from his cell, didn't it?
Havers, no. You're off at half cock there. I think you didn't quite get your facts straight. It was there in the cell. Exactly where it should have been. Should have been.
Oh.
Oh! Not what we heard elsewhere.
Oh. Let me just have a wee hook around in here. I'm sure I can find it.
I forgot he just carries the axe with him.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Ah, aye. Here you are. See?
The last will and testament of Genshin Impact, written with a calligraphy brush. Genshin Asogi.
Of course, I can't read a word of those Japanese squiggles.
That's just rude.
But I mind it says he leaves all his worldly possessions to his son back in his homeland.
Yes, that's correct. That's the gist of it.
So these are the Asogi papers?
Aye, of course they are. Papers written by Asogi. No doubt about it.
Are they?
There's no mystery here, laddie. That's your lot. After all, the stramash or that sinister of it.
Sliced?
After all this. Right, okay.
Strimus?
Allow me to just read it before I say it. Right, I guess. After all the stramash of that slicer of an execution, we sent the man's possessions back to his clan in Japan, and that was the end of it.
I think we ought to make a record of this, Mr. Naruhodo, just in case.
Okay.
Okay, but can we look at the papers?
I'm not convinced that's the right papers. I was
One thing before you go on your way, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, yes?
Those papers are not to do with Gregson's death. I'd prefer it if you didn't make no mention of them outside of this office. Or rather, I wouldn't just prefer it. I wouldn't just prefer it. Consider it an order from the highest levels of our government.
Oof.
Why did you show them to me then?
Yeah, this is why I'm like, are they the right ones?
I understand.
He's relinquished them, like, without any sort of, like, hesitation. It's weird.
Okay. Hereby request that upon my death, any and all my material possessions and wealth belonging to me in London are delivered to my son, Kazuma Asogi, in the Empire of Japan. It is with deep sadness that I accept my fate in this foreign land, in the knowledge that I will never see my homeland or family again, but I regret nothing about my chosen path. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Does seem a little bit sus.
a little bit of a sussy backer.
Yeah, a tiny bit. Right, so we are unable to go to what's her name's. Let's see. Where does Sasato say? She doesn't say anything. Although here we've got. Are you sure we've asked everything?
I
We
mean,
need?
Oh, we should show the Asogi papers to Kazuma.
Maybe. Wrong button. Kazuma. Hello. No.
Really?
Wow, okay. He doesn't
Alrighty.
give a crap.
Alrighty then.
Is there something else we need to show, like...
Oh, hang on. So, yeah, so it's weird, isn't it? How Susato's like, have we said everything to him? And yet all 4 dialogue options
Yeah.
are ticked. But then he's also kind of going like, don't talk to me.
What does it say on the the prison warder's office? Because like there was only 3 dialogue options.
I noticed that. The decorations in here and the governor's face. There was terrifying. I mean, we could try presenting something to him.
I don't know if there's anything.
No. Pocket watch, photograph of the victim, notice board, crime scene, autopsy report. I mean,
Did we unlock the ability to go and see Gorey?
No, there's nothing there.
No, that's why I was looking at what Susato was saying. Oh no. Not real handcuffs. Lovely office, though. Okay,
Vigil? Oh, no.
I mean, we could try showing it to... Could we show it to Van Zeeks, maybe? I suppose we could just, like, move somewhere else and see. Or we could go to the legal consultancy, rather, and ask...
Constituency.
I don't know why I said constituency. And ask... Where do we go?
What to do?
Are you all right, Mr. Naruhodo? It's rather unusual to find ourselves here in the middle of our investigations.
Yes, it's because we're asking for a clue.
Yeah, it's just occurred to me that I might have forgotten something when we left this morning.
Please don't worry. As long as you continue to investigate thoroughly, you won't go far wrong.
Oh, yes, of course. I must get back to work as soon as possible. Thanks!
Very
Cheers!
helpful.
All right, then. All right, so let's see.
Is anyone... the hotel? No.
Well, I mean, let's go through some of these. Lord Chief I don't think there's anything to say to Stronghart. Yeah, he's not even here.
No, he was late by about several thousand hours.
Nothing at the hotel. Prison governors, we've just been there. Like I say, maybe Van Zeeks.
Like showing the papers, maybe.
Not you again.
So, why
Although
are you
all
here?
4 dialogue options are ticked, so... What's that?
It's just something I was hoping to ask. No.
It's a serious crime for the defense to attempt to exaggerate information.
Exaggerate.
Exaggerate.
I can't read today. Okay.
No.
Ba-ba-ba-beep-ba-boo. Fresno Street Room? I mean, I doubt it.
No.
Gina! Nope.
I ain't here.
Oh dear. So wait, so it's weird, isn't it? Because it's like...
Has Sholmes gone back to Baker Street?
Yeah, I guess.
Shame's got anything to say? No.
Iris.
No.
Sans mouse hat. So it's got to be something that we haven't presented to Kadin, or something that we haven't presented to Kazuma.
It feels like Kazuma.
Yeah, but I just don't
but the
know
thing is
what.
he's rejecting everything. So we've shown
him that.
Yeah.
How about Gregson's identification?
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking that.
Oh, wait, the autopsy report.
Okay.
Oh, maybe.
Because if we're saying, like, we need to talk with Corey, or Gorey,
Yeah. Good shout.
Aha!
Aha!
Well done. Well done. Yeah.
This came up in the trial, didn't it? Something a little dubious, I mean. The fact that no time of death was recorded on Inspector Gregson's autopsy report.
Yes, there were some unexpected turns in the courtroom earlier. The suggestion you came up with certainly took everyone by surprise. The idea that the victim died the previous day at some other location is quite something.
Well, considering when the pocket watch had stopped and the scorch marks on the candle, it's certainly a distinct possibility. The evidence and the scene both point to it.
He's getting ready to use instant transmission.
To be honest, it bothered me too.
He's going to zip over to ask Maria Gorey if he can come over.
Yeah. So I paid a visit to the autopsy room earlier.
Just now. And I have just returned.
Yeah. The coroner responsible wasn't there, but I got a name. It's Dr. Gorey.
We know.
If it wouldn't trouble you, Kazuma-sama, we'd very much like to speak with the coroner too.
Tell me, where is Gorey? I'd very much like to speak with her.
Of course. This is the last thing I wanted. The last thing I want is for anything to be brushed under the carpet. Scottish Yard's autopsy laboratory is behind Lowgate Cemetery.
Lowgate Cemetery? By Berkeley Prison, you mean?
We've just been there! Oh, you know it, do you?
We actually just returned from there, after going to a couple of other places.
The prison where my father was incarcerated and robbed of his life.
Kazuma-sama,
Well, thank you. We'll pay a visit to the laboratory later today. Right now, in fact.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Ryunosuke, I want to thank you.
What for?
For this. You safeguarded the soul of the Asogi clan.
Well, it is a famous sword that's been in your family for generations.
Just don't mention about how he knocked it on the posts in the courtroom when he was doing the summation examination.
I stuck some googly eyes on it and called it sticky.
Yeah.
My only slight regret is that I never got the chance to draw it before I returned it to you.
A rumor is said to have been forged by a master swordsmith during the Sengoku War in States period. I come from a long lineage of warriors, many of whom were expert swordsmen.
Well then, you're a chip off the old block, I'd say.
This blade, Kuruma, is the symbol of the Asogi clan's honor and might. Apparently, one of my father's apprentices even took the blade's name for a surname.
Really? Kuruma? It does sound formidable, that's for sure.
What?
Aruma. Karma. Von Karma.
What?
Von Kuruma.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, is it like a, I don't know, is it, am I thinking too much into it of its...
Maybe.
Is it like the sort of the beginnings of the Karma, Von Karma line, maybe? Just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Probably nothing.
16 years ago, when my father was a visiting student here in London, he had this sword forever at his side. Which is why it means so much to me that I have it by my side again now too.
Oh, he's smiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is all thanks to you.
It was an honor.
However, I am now going to thrash you in court tomorrow, just so you know.
Sticky brought me much good fortune. I mean,
Sticky?
Kuruma.
Now, I have preparations to make for tomorrow, Perhaps I've said a little too much.
Kazuma, you've changed.
No, Ryunosuke. I haven't changed at all. It's you who's changed.
Why don't we just say that we've both changed and we'll just settle it that way?
I can completely understand your resentment of Lord Van Zieks given what happened. But the fact is, those events in this case are, well...
Unrelated? Is that what you want to say? How can you be so sure?
What do you mean?
Never mind. The man is the Reaper, and it's for that reason that the inspector was killed. I'm going to prove as much in court tomorrow, by whatever means necessary.
Oof. I can't let you do that, Kazuma.
I know you'll do... Sorry, I kind of
Yep.
thought I was reading that wrong for a minute. I know you'll do what you have to as a lawyer. But I'm sure I don't need to tell you that I won't be taking any prisoners in the courtroom.
I would expect nothing less.
Until tomorrow, then. In the Old Bailey.
Well, unless they reveal a new courtroom. Like, I mean, that's where all the rest of it's
Called
been.
the New Bailey.
It's like, actually,
The
we're
New
gonna
Bailey.
we're gonna head off back to Japan and do it there.
Oh, jeez.
And huzzah!
There we go.
Okay.
Well done, Taylor. Got us out of a
I haven't
ruts
believed
there.
we visited this place for some time. Susanna, we've never visited this place.
We have. Oh, it's
no.
worse
Oh,
now.
that's
Oh, the
It's like-
like the knitting needle. Oh, Christ.
It's like giving me
Ooh.
Jinx League of Legend vibes.
Yes.
As someone who does not play League of Legends, don't attack me, please, in the comments. Thank you.
We
I
watched
like
Arcane.
watched
the
Arcane.
the plague doctor in the very back.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
I like
This
I like
place
the cat on
I like the grumpy cat.
the grumpy cat.
It's true.
really is creepy, isn't it?
Well, being a dead room, it's probably full of the spirits of the desiccated.
Dissected.
Desiccated coconut.
I mean, they
What?
probably are desiccated. Because
Probably.
that just means dried out, but yes.
Yeah.
I'll try that again.
Hey guys, you know what she hasn't got rid of?
What?
The owl.
Oh no!
The watchful eyes of the owl. It's still there.
I wanted to say the line again.
Oh, sorry.
Because I fluffed it.
It's okay. It's here. You can say it. One of the things that we can't
Well-
do in the other game.
Well, being a dead room, it's probably full of the spirits of the dissected. But actually, there's a rather pleasing scent of roses in the air. Well, being a dead room... The coroner probably needs a bold scent like that to mask the odour of death.
Oh no, Sato's like, how could you say such a thing?
Oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Iris?
Do you ever switch off? Like,
Do you think we could change the subject?
Sorry, Runo.
I didn't realise you were so delicate.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, she's
Pyramid Head's coming.
she's carving the knife.
Isn't Pyramid more of a
Yeah, I suppose so.
because
Yeah.
of the sword dragging
Dragging
along
it.
the
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose so.
What was that? Hello.
Uh-oh.
I don't like it. Oh, she was there the whole time.
Yep.
Dr. Gorey?
She's like hiding Shom style in the background.
Her
there,
head just rotates 360 degrees.
My dear fellow, little did you
360,
know,
all the way
I'm
round.
actually disguised as the skeleton.
I have noticed that the skeleton has her mask there.
Yeah.
So we're about to see what she looks like, I guess.
Maybe, unless she quickly puts it on.
Maybe.
Zoom.
Zoom.
Oh, no, she put it on.
No, she did.
That noise before.
What do you think it was, Rita? That is a big ass scalpel. I mean,
Looks like
assuming.
a
Yes.
that looks like a carving knife.
I'm referring to the other knife.
Oh, cleaver.
Well, that's a
Well, I meant, yeah, the small, not the cleaver.
Okay, well that's not how you sharpen knives. That's just gonna ruin the edge.
That's dangerous.
So guys, now we know why they were buying so many damn scalpels.
Yeah, she's just going through them.
Because she thinks she's sharpening them.
I mean, she's trying to apply the sword logic, but that's not how you do that with razor sharp tools.
No.
I like the little ribbon thing she's got.
Yeah.
With the little skull face.
Yeah.
It's quite cool.
I was sharpening my tool.
Oh, that was pretty much it, yeah. You remember.
Yep.
I'd be dead meat if I didn't keep a perfectly clean edge on them.
Right.
When following the collagen?
Collagen.
Yeah.
When following the collagen fibers in the dermis, an expertly sharpened scalpel cuts like cheese. Would you like a demonstration?
Actually,
But cheese doesn't cut very well.
I was going to say, cutting cheese can actually be quite difficult sometimes.
Well, it cuts like cheese, but like, it's also like using cheese to try to cut something with.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a weird phrasing.
Okay. Right, so like a cheese knife, which is incidentally not a knife made of cheese.
That would be pretty useless.
Yep.
Oh, yes, please. I'd love to see.
Iris!
Then I think you'll do nicely.
Oh, no!
Huh? No, I wouldn't do nicely at all. I mean, maybe some other time.
Well, no, or never.
Was that a tut?
I mean, she did it rather loudly.
Well, we came here to ask questions, so...
Kick ass. And we're all out of ass. So it's time for questions.
Oh, I don't. He's
At
very
least-
threatening.
At least it's not making the noise. Time of death.
We have actually met before. I'm a lawyer, if you remember.
You're not dead yet.
What?
So Mama said I wasn't to cut you open. She's so strict about things like that.
Well, good. Dr. Scythe has some scruples, at least.
Scalpels?
No, scruples!
Oh, dear. It looks like she's not interested in talking to us. For the time being, anyway.
For the time being? You mean until we die? I hope that's a way off.
It'll be a bit one-sided as well, I suppose. in that
Yeah.
instance. Not much of a conversation.
Not really.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, no. I don't like that animation.
No.
The lean in. Like a bird.
Sorry, but I wasn't planning on dying anytime soon.
Phew.
Surely there's some less drastic way of making her listen.
We must present
We've
something.
got to present something.
We got to present the
I was
autopsy
going to
report.
say, we'll try that.
Dr. Gorey, we actually came here to ask you about this.
He was very good.
Good? Sorry?
His skin didn't snag my blade once. And very little mess. His joints
Oh, I don't like this.
His joints dislocated easily, and his muscle tissue was a pleasure to work with.
What the hell are you doing with me body? Well, we can skip those details, thank you. But there is one thing about the report that's caught my attention. You don't seem to have recorded a time of death.
Oh!
Oh!
Whoa!
Oh no,
Whoa,
that says
hello,
Taylor. I knew
Wow.
it. There we go. He's like, oh, goth girl, box tick. Taylor, she wants to freaking examine your insides.
Yeah.
She can examine my insides.
Oh my god.
Jesus. Down, boy.
That's not my fault.
Oh! That made me jump.
Then please, tell us what happened.
Ah, yes. Time of death to time of death.
So, why doesn't this autopsy report include the victim's time of death, then? It's really the most crucial detail.
I was told not to write it.
What? By whom, Stative?
Oh!
Aha!
Convenient!
I don't know what you mean.
Mayor Stronghart, the Lord Chief Justice. He came here.
Lord Stronghart came.
It was appropriate.
Lord Stronghart came.
He said that from the witness statements about the gunshot and the other evidence, it was obvious.
Yes, the guy obsessed with time thought that the time of death wasn't relevant. That's
Yeah.
The man clearly died at 5 p.m. on 1st of November, when the gunshot was heard.
But that's not the time of death you wrote on the report. You didn't write anything. Was there some reason you didn't include it?
We've just established because she was told not to put it.
Dr. Gorey? If you're hiding something under Lord Stronghart's instructions, then sooner or later you're going to go to the same way... then sooner or later you're going to go the same way as your mother.
Uh-oh.
Is that a threat?
Give it here then.
Hmm? My goodness. What's she scribbling so furiously?
It
Go
just says,
screw yourself.
Yeah, I guess it just says, go away.
There.
You've written...
What? What's she written? Tell us.
It's gonna have to do it that way.
Indeterminate.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Bugger.
But... Oof.
That's
I
frustrating.
don't think she's going to cooperate, guys.
What do you mean by that? Why was the time of death indeterminate?
When the specimen was brought in, it was still fresh. So the time of death could easily have coincided when the gunshot was heard.
But there was one small discrepancy.
What discrepancy?
There was some fried fish in the pocket of the specimen's overcoat.
The fish and chips are gonna prove it! The fish and chips are gonna be the decisive evidence!
she dissected the fish and chips and not Gregson.
And that fish had started to rot.
So he's been there a bit then.
Yeah. What?
If the victim liked fried fish, he presumably liked to eat it before it went off.
Well, yes. What are you really trying to say?
It's possible that someone tried to manipulate the apparent time of death.
Manipulate the... Is that even possible to do?
Theoretically, if you were to chill the body in ice, you could delay the onset of putrefaction. Putrefaction.
Close then.
And if the overcoat wasn't on the body at the time,
Then only the fish would have started to rot.
with today's science, it's not yet possible to determine if the body was chilled or not.
Oh, actually, I think you'll find.
Who's this guy? Who are you?
You've not heard of the famous Herlock Sholmes?
Oh, it's you.
Oh, well, don't sound too happy to hear
I
me.
would love to dissect your brain.
Oh, no! I think I hear the kettle running. I hear the kettle
mind
whistling.
as great as yours would make a wonderful
Oh,
specimen.
You're on your own, Hurley!
But today's science is advanced enough to let you freeze a corpse, it seems.
I mean, it's not really that advanced, surely.
But surely, to chill a corpse corpse like that would require an enormous electric refrigerator. But I don't imagine many households in London are equipped with such a device.
No, definitely not. But maybe in a factory or some other special places.
Just like they're not equipped with air conditioning either.
And they're still not equipped with air conditioning, pal.
I don't recall seeing any factories or such like on Fresno Street, though.
What about Drebber's thing?
I was thinking that.
I wonder if the inspector's body had been chilled somehow. What might the actual time of death have been?
I couldn't say for sure.
But at the most, it might have been a day earlier.
No!
In other words, it would corroborate your previous deduction, Mr. Naruhodo. That Inspector Gregson was killed a day before his body was discovered at a different location.
Did you inform Lord Stronghart of this possibility?
He simply said that there were no electrical refrigerators of that size in the vicinity.
Nope.
Oh, yes, one other thing. It's something the governor of Berkeley Prison told us. He said that your mother, Dr. Scythe, was responsible for confirming the death of the professor after his execution.
The professor?
That's a face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Apparently, you always enjoyed listening to your mother's stories about her work, so we were wondering if you might know something about what happened 10 years ago.
That's not all Mama did.
Sorry?
My Mama carried out the autopsy of Clint Van Zieks
Sparkly
as
eyes.
well.
What? Really?
Did she really carry out the autopsy of Clint Van Zieks? I'm sorry.
Oh!
We're gonna have to find out next time.
Oh, such devastation.
I know. I'm sorry. But if you do enjoy what we do, then please consider giving us a like, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and you'll be notified of our video uploads every Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And until next time, we'll see you again.
Catch you in the next one, everybody. Have a good time.
And remember, if you ever can't find the truth, the fish and chips will set you free.